Hi, and welcome to the Butler Buzz. I'm sitting here with Sandy from Produce to People. Sandy, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So you're out running errands right now, so we're actually catching you in action with Produce to
You
People.
are.
That's cool. We love doing this in real time. So you could tell me what you are up to right now, what you're delivering to people. You said something about you have a Seed to Supper program.
Yes, so Seed to Supper was our community gardening program. We were intending to run that in person, but obviously that didn't happen. So we pivoted and we ran that for our participants via Zoom. And then we are, yesterday and today, delivering pots. You can see pots in my back seat behind me.
Oh,
I'm
great.
currently in the parking lot of Lowe's, getting some more potting soil, and I'll be leaving here to go pick up plants, and I'll be delivering gardens to our participants. So,
Oh, that is really cool. So you provide them with materials so they can grow their
yep,
own garden.
yep.
That is awesome. That's really cool. So, what has Produce to People been up to since the quarantine? How did you,
So,
reconfigure what you needed to do?
so Produce to People has actually been canceled since the beginning of the quarantine. We work with Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank to offer that here in Butler with Community Partnership, which is where I work. We found out like the day before we were supposed to have our P2P in March that they were canceling all of them across the region.
Oh, it's such
Uh,
a shame.
but but what we have been doing in partnership with them instead, we have now done 4 drive up food distributions, which kind of replaced Produce to People. And then last week in the city of Butler, we did a drive up out on Mercer Road with Hillcrest Baptist Church. And
Okay.
then we did a walk up distribution with First United Methodist Church. And we have a pop up distribution tomorrow at the farmers market. So Produce to People is on hiatus for a little bit, but these drive-through and walk-up distributions kind of replace those. So
Well, it seems like you found, some really good options and
yep,
you turned it around really quickly too, because this happened so fast.
yes,
And it seemed that, you just turned it all around and did what you could do, and you're still doing this. That's great.
yes,
So how can
absolutely.
people in the community still benefit from the food bank? How would we go about doing that at this point?
So the food bank is continuing to support the pantry network. The pantry network, none of our food pantries except one closed during the pandemic. So they all remained open, and in fact, most of them saw an increase in their numbers. So we were very lucky. We were able to be able to continue to support them with food, and then supplement that with these large drive-through distributions. So the pantries all stayed open. Some of the community meals stayed open, some did not. And we were able to support some of those community meals. And then, like I said, with the drive-throughs and the walk-ups. So,
So there's lots of options for
yeah,
everybody. Yeah. That's great that you're still able to do it. You just had to modify and you did really well. So, Sandy, thank you so much for being with us today and for
you're
helping us
welcome.
out and for, helping out the community in a great way.
Yeah, no, and we're glad to do it. And the walk-ups and the drive-ups will continue throughout the summer. So, folks can watch our social media and the news releases in the paper and the radio to find out when those will be. So,
Okay, great. So we'll be able to stay in touch. That sounds great.
yep,
All right.
yep.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Your Armstrong services are more important than ever. There are more and more connected devices in the home these days. To get the most out of your experience, you need a network that is always getting better. You deserve superior performance, and that's what Armstrong offers every day. Whether you're working from home, enjoying your favorite content together, or simply catching up while apart, count on Armstrong to keep you connected to what matters most.
Hi, and welcome back. We're sitting here with Eric Campbell from Butler Area School District's FAB Showcase. Eric, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you and good to hear about the FAB Showcase. So can you first off tell us a little bit about the FAB Showcase and what it provides to the community?
Yeah, great to see you as well. So the Fab Showcase is a community event, and it is a free community event that really showcases the K through 12 art department program, as well as the music programs. And then we also will showcase local artists in there that come and demonstrate. And then there's obviously a variety of things that you can purchase, such as baskets, 50/50 raffle, and other things as well.
Okay, is the artwork available for purchase too?
Yes, so we would have ninth through 12th grade art for sale, and it's an auction. So you would be, it's a silent auction, so you would be actually bidding on pieces of art. Some of the art is already pre-sold because students wanted their pieces in there because they love them, so they've kind of bought them back in the sense of they're donating money to support the Golden Tornado Scholastic Foundation, which is what the event really is, who it's not only sponsored by as a whole, among other companies that give us some really generous sponsorships as well for scholarships.
Yeah, sure. So how does this benefit the students who might want to pursue art as a career? So this kind of gets their name out, kind of, gets them out into the community, people get to know them.
Yeah, I think what it does is it creates a individual and then also a school as well as a community. So all three of those kind of buzz, to use one of your words,
Right.
and feeling. You know what I mean? Like it really gets them excited about creating art individually. So that's what it does. I think it kind of starts to light that fire for a lot of them.
Right, because you look at the arts and it's kind of intimidating to enter that field. So you want to be around other artists that have accomplished that and feel like this is something doable. This is something that I can throw myself into and look at what is available for me right here in my own backyard. I think
Absolutely.
that's incredibly important, especially for the youngins trying to get into this field. So unfortunately, with the whole COVID and the quarantine, we've had to put everything on hold. How did the Fab Showcase pivot during this time? I noticed that you have a really nice website set up.
Right. So what we did was through John Reddick, who's the president of the foundation, reached out to me as well as Dr. White okaying some of, just a small group. So myself and then Ryan Benedetti and John himself and his son, who's takes photographs, as well as there were some 7th and 8th grade teachers at the time as well. So we all met, social distancing, of course, with masks, and we took photographs because I had brought all of the students, my students' work home because we didn't know if it was going to be 2 weeks or how long. So I brought all of their work home and I matted it for the Fab Show. So if we didn't know if we were going to have the Fab Show or not. So that was all ready to go. So what I did was we took photographs, as many photographs of student artwork that we had that were going to be in the Fab Show, and we created a virtual Fab Show for not just the community and the students, so we still had something to give them, but also for sponsorships, because we felt that it was extremely important. Those sponsorships, I don't think anybody asked for their sponsorship money back, and I don't know if they would have. So whether they would have or not, we wanted to give them, rightfully so, something in return. And I think it was extremely beneficial for really everybody. It's the best we could do considering the circumstance. Because let's face it, the easiest thing to do would be say, we just can't do the Fab Show this year and it's done. But we didn't want to do that. I think we all felt obligated, and I would give a lot of credit to John Reddick and the board and those going ahead with agreeing to do this, as well as the art department.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a fantastic option that obviously required a lot of work that you put yourselves into, and that's really great. And I know that a lot of people are benefiting from that. So yeah, we will just see you virtually for the Fab Showcase this year. So thank you for
Yes,
putting that together. And thank you for
absolutely.
coming on the show and telling us all about it.
Thank you for having me. Anytime, of course. Great to see you.
Great. Good to see you too, Eric. Thank you again.
Now is the time to join the Peace of Mind Club from Armstrong Comfort Solutions. The Peace of Mind Club is the best way to extend the life of your equipment and keep your heating and cooling systems running efficiently and safely. Benefits include priority service calls and no after-hours fees, even on weekends and holidays. Sign up now and get an upgraded thermostat or CO detector installed free. Armstrong Comfort Solutions, the best choice for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with David from the Butler Symphony. David, how are you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, it's great to see you. And, we've been missing the community events and, the music that the symphony provides for us. We've been, hunkered down for the past few months, but, we're excited to hear about what's going on at the Butler Symphony.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really tough for us, specifically here in the Butler County community, without having live in-person performances. We had to cancel our April performance and our largest fundraiser of the year at the end of our most recent season. But we're excited to be bringing music to our patrons in the Butler County public in different formats. So one thing we're doing this summer is we're doing our summer concert series again, but we're doing it in a different way. Our office is closed to the public, but they're still happening every Friday, June through September, on Facebook Live, and the audio is being pumped out into Diamond Park. So this features local musicians, and it's everything from Bach to blues and Rachmaninoff to rock and roll.
And you could just sit in Diamond Park and still enjoy the music?
Yeah, absolutely. You can sit in Diamond Park. We are plugged right into the speakers there, and everybody can enjoy the music out there, whether you're sitting and eating lunch or just driving by.
Oh, that's a cool setup.
Yeah.
Okay, that's neat. So how does this also affect your concert season for 2021?
So our concert season, we're doing what we can to try and adapt and be ready for everything. But we are starting a month later. So we're starting in November as opposed to October, and then we'll be going to May as opposed to ending in April. So we have an incredible season lined up, and we're trying to be optimistic about it. Cautiously optimistic is what we like to say. So, we're planning, should everything go 100% good to go and bring our audience in, we'll still have a few differences as opposed to last season. We'll have hand sanitizing and Clorox wiping stations for anybody that needs to disinfect or wipe down their seats. We'll have reminders to social distance. We'll have free masks available if folks need one, or it makes them feel more comfortable in the concert hall, whatever they'll need. And that's just if we're good to go with a full audience and the orchestra on stage. We're also looking at, should we only be allowed a certain amount of people, who will be allowed in, and then also having a professional live stream going on for those patrons that can't be there. And, if somebody's Wi-Fi were to not be working or the link wasn't able to work for them, we're offering, in that situation, should it happen, a satisfaction money-back guarantee. So we're really trying to look at all the different options. And even if we get to a situation, again, where we're not able to have an audience or a large orchestra up on stage, what we can do to change our season and subscription series so that it can still benefit our patrons in Butler County, but in a different format, whether that be smaller ensemble concerts or whatever it might be.
Oh, sure. It seems like you have a lot of good options and you've really thought this through. So I did want to ask you, it's unfortunate that you had to cancel your biggest fundraiser of the year. That's a real shame. What is a good way that we can support the Butler Symphony, even though the fundraiser was, not able to take place?
Absolutely. So, we are always taking donations, and every little bit helps. So we actually, once this started and we had to cancel that concert and that fundraiser, we started a series called Keep the Musicians Playing. It's an online concert series. So various musicians from the symphony and also musicians from around the country that just support them have been sending us videos of them performing for the public and our patrons here in Butler County to enjoy. So we've been sending those out via email blast. They're on our Facebook page, on our YouTube. And you can watch those, and it also includes information about how to donate, which you can go to our website, butlersymphony.org, and there's a button on the right side of the screen that says Give Online. You can also call me here at the office. The number is 724-283-1402, or you can shoot us an email at butlersymphony@zoominternet.net.
Well, that sounds great. And, it sounds very doable. There's lots of options for people to help you guys out.
Absolutely.
And I'm really glad to see you, pivoting and still up and running during this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, we're being cautiously optimistic about the season. So we're hoping that everything can go off, and we'll probably, we're still in talks. I'm working with the board of directors and looking at our contingency plans. But right now, the way our season is lined up, and we're kind of looking at it, starting in November, we'd be doing what's called Evening of Serenades. And this is going to be a really cool concert featuring the Vivaldi Concerto for 4 violins. And Matthew Kramer, our conductor, he's actually going to be putting down the baton for this piece and picking up the violin and playing along with the orchestra.
Oh,
so we're really looking forward to hearing Matthew be able to perform as opposed to conduct for one of these pieces. December, we're moving on. Butler classic, holiday traditions. No better way to celebrate the holidays with your family and friends. February, we're doing what's called the Scottish Reverie, featuring a soloist, Jinju Chu, performing Brooks' Scottish Fantasy, as well as Mendelssohn's Symphony No. 3, the Scottish. March, we're doing Symphony Fantastique, which is a iconic Berlioz piece, and we'll also be featuring whoever the 2021 Concerto Competition winner is, and a premiere of a piece by local composer Daniel Pertu, and also our second annual orchestra side-by-side with local Butler County orchestral musicians. Then come April, which is normally the end of our season, but not the case this year. We'll be doing a collaboration with the Butler Musical Theater Guild. We'll be doing a strip stage version of Guys and Dolls with their performers there. So we're really excited to get on the stage with them and be able to do this unique musical. And then come May, we'll be doing a concert called The Great Ladies of Swing. And this is featuring nationally known jazz vocalist Dee Daniels. She'll be joining the Butler Symphony and a small jazz band on stage, and they'll be performing pieces by Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Peggy Lee, and so on. So we're really thrilled about this season, and whatever format it has to come to our patron zone, we're really excited about it.
Yeah, it sounds like a great lineup. Sounds like you guys bounced right back.
Yeah, we're hoping that the season goes on without a hitch.
Well, David, thank you so much for joining us today and all the great info.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm sitting here with Jean from VITA from Center Community Resources. Jean, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about VITA. What does it stand for and what do you do?
It stands for Voluntary Income Tax Assistance, and it's for low income to moderate income families.
Okay.
So there's qualifications to be able to qualify to get your tax return done for free.
Okay, that is super helpful. And you are based out of the Community Resources building.
We are based out of there, but we have 7 offices all across Butler County. So
that's great.
Every corner of Butler County from Bruin to Cranberry is covered.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
that's great. So it's easily accessible for other people that might not be in Butler City.
Right,
Okay.
right. And that's what the whole idea of the program, it is sponsored by the Internal Revenue Service, is to reach rural consumers that might not have access to paid preparers and stuff so that they can meet their tax obligations.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. So can you tell us about it? How did it get started?
I've been involved for the last 10 years at
Okay.
Center for Community Resources. We started out with just that one office and 15 volunteers, and we did 365 returns my first year.
Wow.
We are now doing 2,500 returns
Oh, wow.
with 7 offices and 63 volunteers.
So it's really grown.
It has grown, yes.
And you're meeting a lot of people's needs.
We are.
So how does a person go about getting involved with you? How would they qualify for this help?
First, to get help, you can call, and there's a tax line number specifically to get an appointment to do taxes at any of our 7 offices. And that number is 724-431-3767. And they are going to ask you a series of questions to see if you qualify. The biggest qualification is household income has to be at or below $50,000.
Okay.
Okay, and we don't set that. That's set by the Internal Revenue Service.
Right.
So don't kill the messenger when you make that call. But there's other qualifications too, like you can't be a landlord. Again, it's done by volunteers who do get IRS certification, but you can't teach them everything, and so there's no depreciation allowed, things like that. So it's supposed to be basic returns. We want to help you get that earned income tax credit, the child tax credit. So specifically want to help low-income families and children to get those credits that they deserve.
So how important do you feel this program is for the community of Butler?
It has had a huge impact on the community of Butler. We get anywhere between like 17 and 25 students from Slippery Rock and BC3. It gives them a resume builder, helps them get jobs, and then conversely, it helps the taxpayers meet their tax obligations. And like just a week ago, we helped a lady that was in threat of foreclosure on her home.
Oh, wow.
She needed $2,500 to pay her taxes, her property taxes that are 2 years behind. But as long as she paid the prior year, they were going to, they would
work with her.
Yeah, they would work with her. So anyhow, we did her tax return. We found out that her sister was living with her and that her sister was making minimal on Social Security, disability, and was using that income to help because she had health problems. So she was using that for her health bills and not helping with the household expenses.
Oh, okay.
So she could claim her sister on the return, and it qualified her for the earned income tax credit. And we got her about $3,300 back, just enough to pay the taxes and have a little bit left over. So we were.
But she needed that help. Like she needed the person with the specialized knowledge to be able to
help her because she probably wouldn't have taken her, if she had done it herself, she wouldn't have taken her sister, she wouldn't have gotten the earned income tax credit, and she wouldn't have got that nice of a refund back.
Right.
So, that kind of impact you can't measure.
No, that makes a huge deal in someone's life.
We also work with, and this is just something extra, but we work with the prisoners at the jail that are out on work release and making money and still have to do a tax return.
Oh, sure.
And, some of them are just there because they can't pay their child support. And I've never understood that concept of put them in jail, how are they ever paying child support? But if we can do their tax return for them and get money back, then they can pay the back due child support and kind of get out of jail.
Right.
So,
any little bit helps. Sure,
yeah.
definitely.
So, that's a nice, it saves the community money because we're not paying to keep them at the Butler County Prison, and then they come out and become working members of society too.
Right.
So it works on all different levels.
Well, this is a great program, and you're helping so many people. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight, Jean.
Well, thanks for having me, and I'm glad we could get this information out to the public.
Thanks so much, and we'll see you the next time on Butler Buzz. Hey there, Butler. If you want to see more from the Butler Buzz, click on the playlist button up here. To see other Armstrong local programming shows, you can click the subscribe button down here. I suggest you do both. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.